Assalamu alaikum. This is Fawad Akhtar Ansari. Now we are about to study about the pre-release material and its technique to how to achieve marks. Right? Let's suppose there are the students who are confused that we do not know the pre-release material, how to solve it, or paper 2 is difficult, or we cannot solve paper 2. We do not know programming. We do not know how to write pseudocode. So there are a number of queries starting that from the word we. If we do not know this thing, how to solve it. So this is a simple technique that we have to understand to how to achieve marks. Okay, let's suppose if I'm a student and if I say that I do not know how to write pseudocode, I do not know how to write algorithm, I do not know how to solve the question, I do not know how to understand the question. When I receive a paper from the teacher, I just confuse, and due to exam phobia or paper phobia, I do this, I do that. So all of the statements, there are the possibilities that the students used to say about paper 2 or the PRM. So how they can achieve the marks. So first of all, the technique is very simple. Every student used to study pre-release material. Of course, when it releases by the Cambridge, then the teachers used to distribute it among the students, and the teachers used to explain the PRM. Okay, what is the question, what is a possible question, or what is being asked, or what is being calculated, or the teachers used to explain every single part of the PRM to the students. So the students sometimes do not understand, sometimes students do not get the concept. So first of all, you have to read the PRM thoroughly. So first of all, read the PRM thoroughly, that what is being asked. I'm not saying that you just practice the programming, or I'm not saying read the algorithm. I'm just saying that read pre-release material PRM. When you read the PRM, at least 30 or 20% PRM you can understand. Okay, yes, this is a scenario that they are asking this, they are asking that. At least 20 or 30% you get the idea that what to do. Okay, now after reading the PRM, you may switch to the section A. Now we are talking about the technique of section A. So how to solve the section? First of all, we have to divide the questions. Let's suppose first question is about the array, or the question is about variables or constant, right? Another question could be of task 1. Let's suppose you have to write the algorithm, or you have to write the pseudocode, or you have to write a formula that could be used in the task 1. These are the possible questions. Next question is about the task 2. It could be the possible question that you have to write down the program for the task 2, or what could be the formula that you are using in the task 2, or what are the variables that you are using for the task 2. So there are multiple types of questions. Next question could be about task 3, that you have to write the formula in the task 3, or declare the variable, or you may write the entire program, right? So we will discuss in detail. First of all, you have to talk about the array. Okay, I know that every student used to study the topic array, variable, constant, and programming, so they have at least 10 or 20% concept of the array. Okay, what is the array? So if you write the correct array, you will get the marks, of course. Next is a variable. If you know that what are the variables, what are the constants, so you may just write down the correct answer of the variable and constant. So by these two questions, array and variable, constant, you may achieve good marks. Now next question could be a task 1. In, let's suppose in task 1 there could be a possible question about describing, that describe, or you have to describe or explain the program that you are about to make. Okay, describing a program that you are about to make. Next question could be uh, use any programming statement. Okay, So this could be a possible part, that describing programming statement, or you may describe the program or explain it. So these are the possible aspects of the program. There could be another possible question in task 1, or they may ask the question that write pseudocode or with the help of a statement where necessary. So there could be a program that you have to write the pseudocode or with the help of programming statement where necessary. So you have to think about it. Write a program using pseudocode or with the help of programming statement where necessary. So there could be possible 3 types of questions could be there. So if you do not know how to program or how to write an algorithm, so you must know that how to declare the variables, how to declare the constant. So in the question, 2 questions starting of the question, that variables, array, constant. So in the program, in task 1, let's suppose if they say, okay, by describe, explain program or use any programming statement. So what you have to do, you have to write in the wordings that what your program is about to do. In task 1, what it could be, let's suppose it is about the train going up or the train going down, or if you are using the calculate the amount of milk, or if you are using if you're trying to make a program that could enlist the number of students in a particular classroom. So you have to describe in the wordings, because according to the knowledge and understanding rule, the moderator is allowed to give you some of the marks. Let's suppose in the task 1, and there are the 3 types of questions. You do not know programming, you do not know pseudocode, you do not know how to write algorithm. Fine, no problem, but you may write your answer in the wordings, theoretical answer. If your theoretical answer is correct and the question, each question is of let's suppose 3 marks, then the moderator checks judge your thinking skills, your concept and your knowledge and understanding. Then he may give you 1 mark instead of 0, or 2 marks instead of 0. Why? Because you have written down the answer theoretically, that what could happen. You're not writing the answer in the algorithm, fine. You're not writing the answer in the pseudocode, fine. But you are writing the answer in the theoretical manner. So depending on the moderator, he or she will give you 1 mark out of 3 or 2 marks out of 3. So it depends upon your knowledge and understanding. So the same technique follows task 2 and the task 3. That if there is any iteration, if there is any loop being asked, right? Any loop, or if there is any loop or iteration, okay, or if they ask about the formula, or if they ask about any sort of counting in a program. So whatever let's suppose you have studied about the loop. There are 3 kinds of loop: for, next, repeat, until and while went. So you have studied repeat, until, while, when and for next loop, but you do not know how to apply or where to apply them. So you may write down the loop in the theoretical manner, that yes, repeat until loop would do this function like that, or the for next loop will do this particular function like that, or you may say that this iteration works like that. So you are writing your answer in the theoretical manner instead of technical aspect. So there's a possibility that you may get 1 or 2 marks depending on the moderator. In the same way, formula, if you do not know the technical aspect, if you do not know the jargon, then you may write your answer in the descriptive form, in the theoretical form. So may be possible you will get half marks or 1 mark of the same thing. So the same technique would be followed in entire section A and entire section B. So you don't worry that if you do not know how to write a program, fine. You do not know how to write pseudocode, no problem. You do not know how to arrange or sequence the line numbers, no problem. But you must know the technique, that you may write the answer if you are rich in the concept, that yes, the difference between repeat until and while and loop. Yes, you know what is a repeat until, How does it work? Yes, you know what is a while and while, how it works. Yes, you know what is a for next, how does it work. Yes, you know the formula. Yes, you know how the iteration works. Yes, you know the constant variables, arrays. Yes, you know the program must work like this in the sequence. So if you write all of these things in the theoretical manner, then you may get, it is a possibility that you may get some amount of marks instead of getting zero. Now in the section B, we talk about section B, that what could be the possible things. Okay, in section B there are multiple types of questions. Let's suppose error finding or error tracing or finding. There could be a possible question of trace table. There could be a possible question of amendments in the program. Therefore could be a possible question of database, right? So there could be a possible aspects. So these are the things, these are the possible questions that we used to solve. Okay, error tracing and error finding. Okay, so in the same way we must know how to solve this question. Let's suppose if I'm a student and I say that I do not know how to trace error, I do not know how to find error. It's okay, don't panic, just follow the technique. If you have studied the programming, then you must know these things. First, the sequence. Then in sequence, right, what could be the sequence? First we initialize variables, right, we initialize constants or arrays, whatever the requirements are. Then we use loop wherever required, or iteration wherever it requires, right, loop or iteration. Next is formula. We know that where the formula must be, right. And we know that what could be the position of input or output statement. Okay, now if you do not know how to programming, doesn't matter. If you do not know how to write down the code, doesn't matter. If you do not know how to write an algorithm, but you know, you must know the sequence. Okay, what would be the possible sequence? Initializing, of course. Next is a loop or iteration. Next is the formula, and next is the input output statement. If you say that the loop must be placed there, or the formula must be placed there, or the input output must be placed there, then you may understand the sequence. Then you may find a error. Okay, what could be the possible error? The lines could be swapped. Let's suppose the loop is after the formula, or the formula is before the input output statement. So you must know the sequence, that what could be the possibility. Next is a trace table. It is time consuming question, and I recommend to spend 10 minutes on this question. Spend 10 minutes. Do not rush, do not hurry. Just think about the possible combination. Just think about the possible data aspects. Just think about the possible data inputs. Then you must spend at least 10 minutes on solving trace table, because you have just got one chance, right? If you write the wrong answer, then your effort or your hard work will be declined. So you have to take time, you have to spend 10 minutes. If you are an average student, then it is recommended to spend 10 minutes. If you are good at it, then do it as much fast as you can. But if you are an average student, or if you are below average student, then you must consume 10 minutes on the trace table question. Solve it thoroughly, step by step. Do not assume that this could be done or this could be the output. No, do not assume anything. Do it step by step, slowly, gradually, then you will achieve good marks. Okay, next question is about the amendments. Okay, let's suppose you have made the program with a repeat loop. Then the question is to amend your program with the while and while loop or the for next loop. So you must know that where to place the for next or where to place the while loop. So it depends upon your study as well. And the last is the database. It is easy question. You have to just tick mark, or you have to just find out in the ascending or descending order, or you have to just write on the query. So this is a easy question. So this is a technique of section A and section B, that how can you achieve good marks, or you may achieve good grade in the computer science. So if you have got any query, you may ask me on my WhatsApp number. You may contact me direct on WhatsApp. I'm available. And sometimes I used to get busy, that's why I do not respond you on the Facebook. So sorry to say that I used to get busy. I used to make preparing my lectures. I used to busy in my different work. So if you have any query, you may ask me on the WhatsApp. I'm available on WhatsApp. I use Facebook often, but I will try to respond on the Facebook. But I used to respond you first on the WhatsApp. So you may contact me on the WhatsApp. It is recommended. So I hope you understand the pre-release material, how to achieve marks in section A and section B, and good luck for your future. Thank you. Allah Hafiz.